Do you find that you make a budget and then all of a sudden it just goes out the door, especially when it comes to food? I'm here to help you. My name is Carmen. I am with That Gonzo Life, and together my husband and I like to share tips and tricks on how to grow a great family. In today's video, I wanted to go over how I go about budgeting and planning, specifically when it comes to food in our house. We are a family of 6. We have growing children ranging from ages 4 to 14 years old, and food is eaten on a regular basis. We are also a homeschool family, so that means that it's snack pretty much all day long. We range from first breakfast to second breakfast, possibly even third breakfast, as well as lunch, and then you have your second lunch, snacks, etc., etc. The list goes on. We range from about 8 to 10 small or large meals a day. Doesn't matter how much I feed the kids, it seems like they still are hungry. So I wanted to share, how to go about maybe, I don't want to say stopping your kids from eating, but of course doing it in such a way that we can stick to a budget and do it affordably. We have been in situations as far as our household financial status goes, where we've had to do like $50 of groceries a week. Granted, that was about 10 years ago, so I understand that probably would have been nearly impossible to survive off of today, but I just share that simply because there are going to be times where it's a season of beans and rice. There's also times where it's a season of no eating out. There are also times where you have a little bit more freedom, where you can eat out a little bit frequently or not. But these are the things I want to encourage you with. The first thing is to have a plan. And what that plan might look like is, okay, if we're going to eat out, how many times are we going to eat out?
I need to find a small paper.
Are you talking about like note cards?
Yeah.
I have a couple here.
Because I wanted to make invites to my tea party.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
You want to have a plan. What that consists of is what is your budget for eating out? Are you going to eat out once a week? Or are you going to eat out twice a week? And are we talking fast food? Or are we talking sitting down and eating in a restaurant where maybe there's a little bit more gratuity involved and the meals per plate are a little bit higher? So those are important to establish. Is number one, if you're going to eat out, how frequently is that going to happen? And a lot for it. Be realistic. If eating out, for our family of 6, eating out, we'll say locally we have an In-N-Out. Not Whataburger, you guys, In-N-Out. But we can still budget for that to easily be a budget of about $50, and that even includes like shakes and kind of bells and whistles, if you will. But then if we are going to sit down at a restaurant, we'll say locally we have, or a pretty well-known restaurant is like, say Red Robin. Now you're talking about $100. So eating out like that type of a sit-down restaurant is probably more realistic for like a birthday, rather eating out at a fast food type restaurant where you can still eat inside the restaurant, but the budget or the cost for that is a little bit lower. So for our family, we eat out about once a week, and sometimes it's like 1.5, meaning within a 2-week pay period, we're gonna eat out. We'll say after we get paid, we might have one in between that, and then we'll say one more time within a 3-week period. And so that allows for a budget of, we'll say $150, or maybe it's $125, and then one of the times we're not getting the bells and whistles, if you will. So the point is to make a budget specifically for eating out and stick to it. The next thing is be realistic about what your grocery store visit and budget is going to be. So you might think, okay, I'm gonna stick to $100 a week, and it doesn't matter, we're gonna stick to it. And then you find that you're at the grocery store 2 or 3 more times within that week. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being realistic. Look at what you have actually spent. Be realistic with it. Know what you spend. So I'd say maybe look at the last 1 to 2 months and see what you have spent at the grocery store. If you feel like you could scale that back, great. Otherwise, say, okay, I have spent $600 in the last month. That is my grocery budget. And then from there, you want to split it up by the amount of pay periods that you have. So in our case, we are bi-weekly. So if $600 is what I'm spending a month, I'm gonna have a grocery budget of $300 every pay period. From that place, I split it up by the frequency. I am a person of attending the grocery. I want to go to the grocery store once a week. And so there's a way that you can do that and do it successfully, but you do have to have a meal plan, or you have to have a general idea of what your family is going to eat for the week, and just agree that you're not going to the store otherwise. So once you have established your grocery budget and what you realistically spend, what you can spend each month, then you want to go into what are we buying at the grocery store. Create a list, but before you create that list, I highly suggest you go into your pantry, you go into your refrigerator, see what can be eaten, what can be used, and what can be included in what you are going to make for that particular week. This is a great time to get your family involved, to see what meal requests, what food item requests that they have. That way you are not buying things that are going to go to waste. Then you can make a meal plan based off of those things. And I'm not talking anything elaborate. I'm talking simply make sure that everybody is fed. And if you are at home full time like we are, then don't only consider dinner time. Consider what you guys are gonna eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then all the snacks in between. Steel cut oats is something that at least half of us like to eat, so I like to make a batch of that. You know, bagels is a really popular food item in our home for breakfast. Biscuits and sausage. So a lot of the things that everybody can enjoy, make sure that those are always on the list. It would be what is called a staple item. So make sure you have your staple items, and then what you are out of stock of and you need to replace, and then, you know, make your meal plan. A really easy one for the week is you could do meatless Monday or meatball Monday. So like kind of the Italian style on Mondays. We are out of the house on Mondays pretty late. So I like to have an easier one, like for instance, sandwiches, BLTs, things like that. Tuesdays, I tend to do a Taco Tuesday. So whether it's chicken tacos or enchiladas or burrito bowls, something that's kind of a taco theme. And then, you know, so on and so forth. You tend to get tired by the end of the week. So don't go too elaborate by the end of the week. Otherwise, you will find yourself wanting to go out and eat. And unless it's scheduled and planned, I don't suggest you break that, I guess, agreement or that goal. Unless you have a little bit of reserve that maybe you didn't spend on your groceries, then you can go ahead and cheat that way. So once you have your grocery budget, once you have your eating out budget, you have your grocery budget, you have looked in to see what you have in stock, you have meal planned, then go to the grocery store. I highly encourage going to the grocery store. A lot of us, we have access to doing online shopping now, where we could do like a grocery pickup, or we could have groceries delivered to us. However it is that you want to get your groceries, that is entirely up to you. The neat thing about grocery pickup or grocery delivery is that you're not tempted to kind of sway in different aisles that you don't need to go in, or buy things that you don't need to buy. But if hypothetically you are going into a store, make sure you're going in with your list. The thing I like about a grocery pickup between either Walmart or HEB, that what I really enjoy about that specifically is that I can have, as I'm seeing that things are running out, oh my gosh, we're out of jelly, we're out of peanut butter, or whatever item, I can add it to the shopping list of where I'm going to be shopping from for that particular week. So that's just a tip. Either way, one thing that I find to be super helpful is just having a little checklist on your refrigerator, so that as soon as you're out of items specifically, or if you have in your mind what you want to eat for that week, or if somebody has specifically said, hey mom, can we have meatball subs soon, you can add that to your list and then make sure that you have all those supplies for that. At the end of the day, my encouragement to you is, if you have followed the steps that I have encouraged you with you, if you're out of a certain item, I'm sorry guys, I don't have that item, but we're still gonna go ahead and move forward. I'm not gonna go to the store. I try my very, very best, unless I'm, delivering a meal or I'm having somebody over where it's like that is vital to the specific meal that I'm making. I very rarely find myself visiting a grocery store or sending my husband out to the grocery store to, get something that I missed on the list. It just ends up spending more money than you need, causes for you to go over your budget. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Please make sure to watch the next one, as I'm going to dive into the ins and outs of how to meal plan. Thanks.